Hello. Couple things. Um, just a couple lessons that I learned from 2017 about just having boundaries. I never knew that I didn't have any boundaries, and a lot of things that happened to me, I was just like, God, why is this happening to me? Why are these things happening to me? And I was washing the dishes the other day, and I just realized, like, I just had no boundaries. In one of my videos, I was talking about one of my mentors uh, being Chandra. She has kahunas. I said, and I need to get a pair of those. And boy, did she ever teach me that I ever, because one day I was trying to see my father, whom I hadn't seen in 17 years, 17, 18 years. Since I was 18. I hadn't seen him since I was about 18, and I'm 35 now, I think. And I was all the way with my grandfather to go see him, but my father was taking a little long. And I called her and I asked her if I have to come in because I have this family meeting that's going to take place. And she's like, no, you have to come in. So I left, and it took me about 2 hours to get to her. Or I left from where I was. It took me 2 hours, and I missed that. I left my son there and my friend there, and I missed out on seeing my father for 2016 because I had no boundaries. I couldn't just say no. Like, I'm not going into work today. I have to see my father. And then also I had a and God saw, Michelle, you still didn't learn. It didn't hurt you enough for you to catch the message. I could not catch the message. So then I had an opportunity to go to a very reputable university near my grandfather, who I had just become um, reunited with by happenstancing upon him when I was taking the bus. Even though I had a car, I was taking the bus one day, and he happened to be on the bus because he was on his way to. He's still work. He cuts fruit. He does like fruit animals at the schools and stuff like that. So, anyways, I had this great opportunity to help myself. I needed the help because of what I'll tell you later, and to be at this university and to um, my grandfather literally lives across the street from that university. So I would have been able to see him pretty much every day and just get that time with him before, his time comes that I really needed. Like, I miss my grandfather, like, you have no idea. So, and I couldn't even put it into words how much I love my grandfather. So then that week, I had a lot of research to do. I had a lot of preparing to do. She couldn't stop hounding me. She couldn't stop pestering me. Oh, I need you to come in an extra day. I need you to come in this time. I need you to watch off the store here, then, and da da da, and just guilt tripping me and emoting all of the human things. This is that I could go and I could go in depth and really tear her character apart. But there are a lot of human things of manipulation, the way you get people to work for you and to do stuff for you. And again, I didn't have any boundaries, and I completely lost the position, that opportunity, because I was just wrapped up in cleaning her house, doing a whole bunch of. I cannot say no. I have a problem with saying no, I can't. I'm not, I'm not the, I don't ever want to be that person who says like, I don't care. I don't care if you have problems with this and blah, 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 blah. I don't care, but I have to see to divide from when someone is trying to manipulate me, to get free service out of me, or when, that they don't need. This happens often. It happened with my mother. She would get money out of me that she didn't need, um, whilst couldn't even have toilet paper for myself, but she would say she needed such and such and such of money, and I would give it to her, and then she would, right in front of me, she'd ask her boyfriend for the exact same money for the exact same purpose. And then she'd go to an uncle, she'd call an uncle, and then say that she needs money for the exact same purpose. And so it's like we've all given her money for the exact same thing. Yeah. And it's just manipulation, right? So, anyways, yeah, and I lost the position there, and that's when I said to myself, I have to quit. I have to quit because I'm going to tear this woman apart one day out of like resentment. And I don't feel resentment right now, but I was feeling a little bit of resentment after I did not get um, the part for, I did not get the university position. So, and in my other video, I was just like, I felt like I was blaming her. I was saying, oh, because of this and this. In a way, it was part of the process of me finally being able to say, maybe getting to the point. I don't know. I don't know if I've learned my lesson yet. I don't know if I've learned my lesson yet because I'm telling you, I'm a very big pushover. Um, and I don't know if there's any other pushovers out there, but like, I really need to get the message of just saying no. I have other priorities at this time. So, yeah, there's that. And then like, right now, I was saying in one of my videos, one second, that I'm lazy right now. And I am lazy right now because I'm sleeping. I'm feeling, how should I say? So I'm just trying to figure out like what's happening to me at this point of my life. And I used to be able to just like plow through any books, I would read everything that they gave me in university for my assignments. A lot of the kids, probably 99% of the kids that were just didn't read it, they go on find all these different hacks to hack. They would hack the book rather than read the book. So, but I read all the material, and I didn't. I found no issue in this. I actually felt like I got so much out of it, personally, and it was good for me and everything. And I was able to do it. I was able to get through my assignments and plow through essays through the night, plow through reading materials, and now I just don't do any of that. And I had to realize what was different between then and now. At that time, I was happy. I was doing it had a generally happy countenance. Like, I was just happy. I was just excited, in general to embark upon those things, to embark upon anything. I was just a happy person with a happy countenance in general. But now I have a sad countenance. And I'm sad. I'm sad all the time. I'm generally feeling a lot sadder than I did, um, you know, in my late 20s. And I'm not exactly happy about my life and the trajectory and a lot of stuff. So, yes, just in general, like, I went from being happy to not being happy. And I think the catalyst for that was a weak part of me was. So, generally, what happened is that I went from a happy countenance to sad. And the catalyst for that was the fact that, like, in school, in power and institutions, we went into some very dark situations that I experienced. Um, in my childhood, um, living with my father, and the very, some very, some very dark things that happened to me, some very sinister maneuvers on the behalf of my stepmother and my stepfamily. Um, Very terrible things that I had to live through. And through this book that we read, trying to remember it, I basically had to relive that whole experience again. And then there was also another class, and for some reason it was just that subject for that week, and it touched that part that I could not, I was not ready to have poked. It was poked, and I just broke down, crying all the time. I couldn't go to class. Um, it was very horrible for me. Uh, and I'm not used to being weak. Like, I'm a forklift driver. Like, I've been on a construction site, um, for, as an apprentice painter, and being hired as a sheet metal worker, and, you know, studying to become a roofer and going on roofing, um, interviews and all types of stuff. So I'm not generally the type of person who would be like, oh, my life is coming apart, and fuss about the little things in life. So I'm not used to this me, the sad me, I guess. I've always just found a way to be happy. So, basically, I'm going to have to get through everything that I have to get through in life right now, just accepting the fact that I'm sad. At that time, I was doing things when I was happy, and now I'm doing things when I'm sad. So, what that's going to look like is different. What that's going to feel like is something totally different. And I cannot compare it to before. So, if anybody else out there is feeling like, why are things so different? Maybe it's because before you were happy and now you're sad. And now you have to do your work and do your general living and coping with a different mentality than before, and through murkier waters. Before you're in your pump and in your prime of life, and maybe, I can't say I'm old per se, but like I'm older, and I hear that the joy of living does leave, at a point, because you stop enjoying things as much. So, and I don't know if it's that, but I just know that it used to be a lot easier for me to just act in general. If I had to look for a job, I did it with joy and with pump, and I'd be on the job, and I'd be marking papers, and I would be, just doing things with zeal and vigor, and I'm just thinking, like, where was that coming from? Because now, if I get out of bed, I'm really proud of myself. So, where was all of that coming from? So, I still managed to do, it's a good thing I was in the habit of doing things, because I still managed to do, quite a bit. Like, I organized the social party for my work. Um, I managed to get out to Pastor Stephen Anderson. Um, I managed to do, a few things here and there, but it's definitely not like the other years. Um, I'm not managing to study at all. I'm not managing reading. I'm not managing a lot of things that I used to manage a little easier. So, I think that's it. I think I've just thought a solution just came to my mind, that maybe I'll go back and start working out. I do have a membership that costs me a pretty penny, so I might as well use it. And because I was doing a lot of reading when I was working out, I just put my books on the treadmill, because I just found it so monotonous and boring to be lifting something, doing the exact same action for, like, I just feel like a meathead when I go into the gym. I have to be honest. Like, I see all these guys, and I'm like, oh, meathead city, So, anyways, so I just have to read as just like a repellent or something like that, so the meatheadness does not spread anymore. But yeah, so it's good so far. I guess I'm on the right track with 2018, that I'm noticing that I need boundaries, and I'm sad. I used to be happy. Now I gotta read through the sadness, through the pain, through whatever I'm feeling, through a couple tears. Um, that's how I gotta do things. So I'm just acknowledging that. And I don't want to say, "Oh, Happy New Year," to end on a negative note, but in order to deal with the problem, I have to address the problem, and I think everything is like that, and um, and in another video, I said the word sensory devoid or something like that, but what the word I was looking for was sensory deprivation. Yeah, you know, I was talking about sensory deprivation inside with the science center. It's not very, doesn't have a lot of stimulus, especially for children. And that, I really like psychology. I want to work with amino acids and, different receptors and reuptake and GABA, and that would be very interesting for me. But I was thinking that I might not get my psychology degree or even go for it. But after just listening to that and saying that sentence actually literally makes me cringe. Makes me cringe. There's something about getting my psychology degree that literally has me. Like, I can't, like, I can't even change it if I wanted to. Like, that is a must. So I gotta figure out some way to get my psychology degree. Semiotics is very stimulating, very interesting. I feel like it would be, it's a must have, I think, for every human being. I think everybody should study semiotics because, you know, how people perceive messages and perceive icons is such an important part of your life. Like, it's literally like being blind if you don't understand those things. Um, Psychology now, it's just a standard for myself. It's a standard that I want to have. If I take dealing with children very precious, is important to me, that I feel that every daycare worker, everyone that works with children should at least have a psychology degree, a BA or some sort of, yeah, a BA in psychology. Every single, it should be a requirement. Um, so that's a whole standards thing for me, and standards can be very hard to break. Like, if you have a standard to be married before you have do before you have consummation, um, you're not going to be likely to overstep that standard if it's just like it's something I really feel like it should happen, you know. And um, so just follow your dreams, but know who you are, and know that persevering through trials and tribulations, um, and having to persevere does not make you a failure. Just means that you're gonna have to look at things a little more in depth than you had to before. At first, you may have looked at it lightheartedly with a happy and joyful heart, and now you're ready to do the real work. You're ready to really get in there. So, God bless you, and good night.